Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
What's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. The universal handle for the socials is @Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. So welcome. Happy Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Some things never get old. And
I know. And one of those things are Geico commercials. All right.
Yeah, that too. But specifically that. So, I got bored.
Commercial.
Huh?
I said it was a Geico commercial.
Whatever. I get it. I understand. But specifically that one, Joe, is what I'm saying. Do we want to sit here and talk about this, or do we want to talk about how you're the most hated Syracuse fan?
I wouldn't say most hated.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So I was bored today, and I had some extra time, so I was tooling around trying to figure out what I could do for social media because the game has been weak. I know. So anyway, I was like, oh, I got a perfect clip to cut about Joe talking about the stand and clap. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great, and I wish I would have played devil's advocate yesterday, but I was just. Something I never really gave a ton of thought to. But when you made your case, I was like, yeah, I couldn't even play devil's advocate. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I agree. I think it's, maybe time to, I don't know, maybe I'll try something different. I don't know. So anyway, I put it up. Well, I mean, whatever. I put it up. Not that popular, Joe, as it turns out.
I saw.
So Cuse Waterboy, great minds think alike at Cuse Waterboy. He tends to lean with us for his own reasons. But, I mean, I figured I'd bring it up again because, it is what it is. Look, it's a tradition. I get it.
Yeah.
And that's all fun and everything. Started in, 77, okay, is when it started. And it was when a random fan went to a game. Syracuse traveled to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to play in the Lobo Classic, apparently, okay? I'm just sifting through this article here. And on that night, when Syracuse played, that's what their team did. That's what the Albuquerque team did. So a Syracuse fan brought it back. I think it was a student, brought it back and started it. And ever since then, it kind of took it over as ours. So it wasn't even original to Syracuse. Does that maybe put out some of the flame for anybody? I mean, for me, it kind of did a little bit. But... it kind of does, right? It's not totally original, but we did. Right. Syracuse fans did make it big. But with that said, Joe,
yeah,
it was a random thought. I thought it would spark some good conversation, right?
Yeah.
So
I thought so. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, everybody was on the stand and clap bandwagon. So again,
it's a bandwagon now.
Well, I told the story of me making random people in my, Army unit stand up if they wanted to stay in my room and watch a Syracuse game, and they were just there to drink beer. So, I mean, when you talk about the tradition and a fan, I did that. That's me. I'm not arguing against the tradition. It wasn't me trying to start a coup and try to get rid of it. It has nothing to do with that. It was just, like you said, a random thought that I had in which I kind of just thought deeply into the whole thing, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's not saying that it was going to. I didn't expect to change it. I didn't think that people were going to listen to me and be like, "Oh yeah," and just stop.
Yeah, but some people get upset real easy, though. Are you guys serious? Is this a serious thought?
It was out of nowhere. It was really out of nowhere. And all I was really just questioning the whole thought process of what it was. I get it. People like the traditions and everything like that. But my whole question is, when you really sit down and think about it, is it helping or hurting?
Yeah, we won't know until they stop for at least a game.
And again, this isn't me trying to start anything. I'm just saying.
Anyway, you got a big head? Do you got a big head? Do you want to win a big hat? Look, first of all, let me just say this.
Why do you say it's a big hat? Is this why you're giving it away because it doesn't fit you?
Yeah, it's a large, extra large. I'm a medium large. Yeah, I got it as a gift.
You look like an extra large from here.
Listen, brother, Okay, you're gonna shut up. So, look, there's a couple things I've been wanting to mention, and November is always our biggest month, and it's our biggest month because it's when most of our where we have the most shows because of overlap with basketball and football, and so it's always our biggest month. But this past November, like, blew every other November for the past 3 Novembers out. It's our 4th November, going into our 4th November. So, or maybe 3.5.
Is it really?
Something like that. Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes. This show's 3 years old now. So it's technically our 4th basketball season. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody for that. I keep forgetting to mention it. I don't always talk about the numbers because it's boring to everybody. But I have to thank you for that November. Yes, that was great.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. Thank you. Not everything was going well with football or basketball, and yet still this show continues to grow. So word of mouth is huge to us. We really appreciate that. Another way to do it is to get on, subscribe to whatever platform you listen on, please. And if you do, I know the show is mediocre on its face, but if you do listen to it regularly because you have nothing better to do, we just ask that you give it 5 stars and embellish a little bit with some words on iTunes. We really appreciate all of those who have done it. We appreciate it. We just appreciate you listening.
Well, and if
really,
they do, then
we're gonna pick a couple of them and wait till we have a few or a handful or whatever, and then you could win the extra large hat. Large, extra large, large/extra large. Okay, so I'm giving it away. I mean, what the hell? Plus, everybody else still gets some swag. So the hat will be at random. They only got one, obviously. So anyway, with that said, I think that's everything. So I think it's time to start the show, and we can only officially kick the show off once we have done. Yes, the reads. So here's the deal. First, I want to talk to you about MyBookie. Now, remember, if you've done it before, you know what online betting's all about. Go ahead, try MyBookie out if you have not yet. If you have not bet online before, research it, see if it's right for you. But if you do decide to do it, it doesn't matter whether you're an experienced player or a first-time customer. MyBookie welcomes all that come to play. So quit waiting around and sign up today. Do you find yourself wanting to sports bet but have a lot of questions? But don't worry about that, because MyBookie's patient customer service team can walk you through the process. They can answer any of your questions. And the best part is, if you join now, you still have a shot to take advantage of their incredible sign-up offer. This is the biggest one they always do. Just log on to mybookie.ag and make your first deposit. Use the promo code CHAIR, CHAIR, and MyBookie will match your deposit dollar for dollar to jumpstart your bankroll up to $1,000. That's matching your deposit dollar for dollar. Use the armchair. Use the armchair. Use that too. You can do it from the armchair. Use the promo code CHAIR and get your bankroll started today. MyBookie. You play, you win, you get paid. Now listen up. Listen, fellas, ladies. If you want to increase your performance and get extra confidence in bed, listen up. Blue Chew. That's blue like the color. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know it works. You can take them anytime, day or night, on a full or empty stomach, and since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as the pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. If you could benefit from extra function and more confidence when it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online and ships straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than the pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use the special promo code ARMCHAIR. Just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com. Use the promo code ARMCHAIR. Try it for free. Blue Chew is better, cheaper, faster choice. And we thank them for sponsoring this podcast and Armchair Media. Remember, promises no guaranteed results, and it does not say anywhere on there that it cures disease. Thank you, MyBookie. Thank you, Blue Chew. That is all. So let's get started. The Orange are going to play their rivalry game this year against the Hoyas this Saturday in D.C., of all places. Yep. So the game is at 1 o'clock, and it'll be played at the Verizon Center. And we go through all the Georgetown sucks stuff, and it cannot be said enough. Okay, it can't. It never gets. When you want to talk about something that doesn't get old, it's Hump Day and Georgetown sucks. So those are two things that can never get old. All right. The all-time series between Georgetown and Syracuse sits at 51-43 in favor of Syracuse. The 5-4 Orange are looking to extend the winning streak against the Hoyas to 3, meaning that Patrick Ewing has not beaten Syracuse as a head coach yet. Making the tournament is another thing Coach Ewing has not done. And, in the past, the Orange have had 4 5-game win streaks against Georgetown. Georgetown, though, with a 6-game win streak and a 5-game win streak against Syracuse. Georgetown sits at 6-3 coming into the game this Saturday. They had a 65-61 loss to University of North Carolina, Greensboro. And 81-74 win on the very next game against Oklahoma State. Pretty good team. So the 3 losses that they have, I mentioned UNCG, and along with that would come Penn State, which is a good team. It's been proven to be a good team.
Know about them.
And then Duke was number 1 at the time when they beat Georgetown. So we all know that Josh LeBlanc and James Ajinko, they announced their earlier this month they both be leaving the program. Between the two of them, they averaged 20 points a game up to that point. But it is the 7-foot, 264-pound senior center, Yurt 7. He leads the team in points and rebounds, almost with a double-double, 16.9 points a game, 9.4 rebounds a game. And then he's followed up by 6'2", 186-pound sophomore guard, Mac McClung, sharpshooter. He's hitting about 15 points a game. So quickly, something else real quick, and then I'm going to let Joe bloviate. The Hoyas average 79.4 points a game, which is pretty high. So they've got some offense. But for what it's worth, they are turning the ball over an average of 16.7 times a game. And, this would be a great opportunity. The Orange is good at getting people to fumble the ball. And they've done a good job this year of creating turnovers. They haven't always capitalized on them, but they will not only need to capitalize on them, but emphasize them as we play on the Hoya home court. So, Joe.
Yes, sir.
It's your turn to talk.
Oh, okay. Hi. I'm saying you probably just hit everything that I was going to know.
Come on.
No, again, like you said, Georgetown's got a decent schedule that's gone through. I think the UNC Greensboro, I think that they're a decent mid-major team, but that's a game that they probably should have won. They do have a good win, a couple, but at Texas, yeah. At home against Texas, they won by 16 points, and Texas was ranked 22nd at the time. And then once they lost, like you said, the 2 players there, who was it? Akinjo and LeBlanc, right?
Akinjo and LeBlanc, yeah. Yep.
As soon as they lost them, they went on the road and beat Oklahoma State, a team that we lost to, and then they went and they beat SMU, who traditionally isn't an awful team here recently. So it's not going to be an easy game. And obviously, I mean, it's a rivalry game, and most games are pretty close. I don't think a lot of the more recent games have been close. I don't think there's been a game that's been outside of like 7 points or something like that.
Last year was 72-71.
Yeah, Ty's battle. He had that little run in the second half, and then he hit that jumper to seal the deal. I think a lot of people remember that game.
Yeah, it was a great game. Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, those 2 that weren't playing, they were a big part of that game. They also had Jesse Govan still, who kind of killed us that game, but McClung, he played well too. The way it's looking now, though, with this team, they're still trying to put it together. Obviously, with losing the 2 players that they had there, but looking at the box score of the last 2 games and what rotation they've kind of been going with those guys gone, you're looking at the 5 starters have basically all played like 28 plus minutes, mostly in the 30s for the most part, barring foul trouble, and you're still going to have some similar problems down low. Yurtsevin is a guy that I think can step out and shoot and hit the 3. He knows the 2-3 zone. He was a transfer from NC State, so he's played against it a couple of times. So he was sitting out last year. So he's been playing well, as you spoke about his stats. McClung playing better than he was last year. That's a guy you always got to worry about. And another guy you really got to worry about, Javon Blair. He's done pretty well in those guys' absence coming off the bench. He went 7 of 11 from three-pointers last game against SMU off the bench. So not an overly tall team. Jamarco Pickett, 6'8", 6'9" forward, with Yurtsevin being 7 foot. But other than that, you got guards that are comparable to our guard size. So to me, it just looks like, as long as they don't shoot the ball well as far as 3-point line, I think that we could be okay. I don't know if they're as good this year at the rebounds as they were last year. It's hard to really know what to expect. I know. Considering, that it's just kind of a newer team with those 2 guys out, but they do have a couple, they've done good though with them out. They've done okay. They've done pretty decent with them out. They beat Oklahoma State with them out. Right. Yeah. And this is the type of team, with Patrick Ewing, the way he used to play, the way he coaches his teams ever since he's been the coach. And really, usually, even before that, Georgetown you usually have tough kids that come in and they know what the rivalry is about, and they play tough. And I think we always challenge each other, even if one team may be a little bit better than the other from year to year, So this is just one of those games that I think I talked about last podcast about, getting in those close game, end of the game dogfights. And
yeah, I was just going to say, is this going to be the first one, you think? It's got the potential.
I think it's looking like it, man. I really, really do, because I don't think that we're going to shoot as bad as we have with our 4 losses. And again, I think that being able to go down to Georgia Tech on the road and shoot like that and gain some confidence before going on the road to Georgetown, I think it means a lot, and hopefully we can just continue through that. So I'm not going to expect them to come out and do exactly what they did against Georgia Tech, but I don't expect them to come out and shoot the way that they've been doing against, the 4 losses that they had previously.
Yeah, obviously we talk about it all the time. You're on the road. It kind of sucks, and it's the unknowns with this more so than anything. We don't really know how this team is, gelling yet. If they really are, they've pulled off some good wins, but they were a good team. The thing is they were playing good. They played Duke pretty good up until the very end. They kind of lost it towards the end a little bit, but.
And again, when you look at their team, as well, the starters that they've thrown out there, the 2 games since the other guys have left, Pickett's a junior, Yurtsevin's a senior, Mosley's a senior, Allen's a senior. The only guy.
Yeah, so you got experience too.
Right. And Javon Blair is a junior that comes off the bench as well. So they got, they're experienced and they've played against the zone the last couple of years. So, and again, from what it looks like to me, they against SMU, they made 14 out of 27 3-pointers.
No, that's a lot. That's taken a lot.
That's taken a lot, but that's over 50%.
Yeah, I know, but it's still, and to hold 50% while taking that many is pretty good, and on its face, but that's still a lot.
No, you shoot 50% from the 3-point line any day. That's a good day.
Yeah, and you're taking them too. So anyway, anybody seen the spread on this? Anyone?
No, that's the one thing that's tough with college basketball is usually the spread doesn't come out until the day of or the day before. Usually, so
I thought it might come out. I thought it might come out early because both of these teams didn't have a game for a week. So, we want to talk about how kind of nice it is to have that week off to get ready for Georgetown. It would have been a whole lot nicer if they played like Tuesday or, you know what I'm saying? Or something. Yeah. But they didn't. They had the whole week off as well. So,
well, if you pay attention to the college basketball schedule, there's not a lot of teams playing. Like yesterday, there wasn't a lot of games. I think this is a lot of finals weeks for most schools and stuff like that.
Two games last night. Louisville lost. So there was that game. Yep. Was it Louisville?
Penn State beat Maryland. Maryland was ranked 4th.
That's right. Penn State beat Maryland in Louisville.
For all those people that think that we might have lost to trash teams, and just to throw it out there too, Georgetown, when they played against Oklahoma State, likely didn't play. The guard for Oklahoma State that killed us,
Yeah, likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sick and he didn't play against Georgetown.
Okay.
So,
right.
Not to say that they would have won without him, but I'm just throwing that out there as a tidbit. A couple other things on top of those two guys that had left. I don't know. I forget if you had actually mentioned this or not, but Georgetown had another incident at their college about something about harassment and.
Oh, was that one guy? It was the one guy there.
Well, it was the two guys there. I think it was.
No, one of them's not involved in anything though, right? The two I mentioned.
Gardner and Alexander, right?
Okay, no. Akinjo's the one that he's leaving. That Josh LeBlanc is the one that's in trouble.
Yeah. Well, there was another incident where Gardner and Alexander was on some type of like suspension, not from games, but like a school type of suspension. Something happened with them. 2 6'6" forwards that come off the bench that are trying to kind of gain their trust back. I don't really know too much about them. One's a freshman, one's a junior. But it's not looking like, I mean, they played 14 and 19 minutes respectively against SMU, but they didn't really do too much. Another thing, since that's been going on, well, as far as Yurtsevin being able to be spelled, maybe a familiar name to Syracuse fans, well, ones that pay attention to recruiting, Quaddis Wahab.
Yeah, we talked about Quaddis. Yeah.
Yeah, 6'11", 237, freshman center.
Yeah. That was going to be the big body we needed.
No, he hasn't been getting a lot of playing time, but somewhere around 8, 9, 10 minutes, I would probably expect from him, especially if Yurtsevin gets in foul trouble. So that's really their team. I think with those guys leaving, I think that they can probably make up with it with their upperclassmen and some of their transfers, but it just hurt their depth is really the biggest thing with those guys leaving.
You think we're going to see more of Howard again? Obviously, we're going to see more of him, but are we going to see him before we see Goodine this go around, or do you think Coach is going to play it safe?
Didn't he come in before Goodine last game too?
Did he? I don't think he did.
No, I thought he did, but I think right now until Howard Washington proves otherwise, he's going to be that second guy off the bench. Yeah. Or until something else happens behind the scenes that nobody else really knows about other than the coaches. So, but that will be unforeseen. We won't be able to guess that. But based off of the performance of the last game, I mean, Howard Washington is definitely going to see some more minutes.
Yeah, I just hope that we can obviously start strong. I don't want to get behind on this team, not away from the dome. Get these guys flustered on the road, and it's going to be a problem. As we saw with Georgia Tech, it was lights out from the beginning. They just put their foot on the gas, never let go, never took it off. That was it. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. These games always make me nervous. These games with the most bragging rights always make me the most nervous, and it's always you know what I'm saying, and it's nerve-wracking. Ewing trying to get this team into the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015, trying to beat Coach Boeheim for the first time since he's been a head coach, and he's been slowly building this team, and he's taken a step back this year. His team has as a whole, but if they can come out of that. Look out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, they do. Like we talked about, confidence and consistency. I think as long as these guys don't, it almost felt like that 3-game losing streak. It looked like it maybe took the sails out of some guys, and maybe they started feeling, like it wasn't going to happen for them this year. But you can't really feel like that early, and being able to get that confidence boost. I think we just need to not get in those losing streaks, and again, being consistent with shooting the ball, because obviously we're a jump shooting team and we're going to live or die by that. We don't have to shoot like we did against Georgia Tech, but against the teams we lost our 4 games against, you're not going to beat anybody shooting like that, nor getting out rebounded like that, or just putting that effort out there. So,
yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And, we don't got to worry about anybody standing and clapping, and just go out there and play.
Oh, God, here we go.
By the way, Lauren says, Joe, it's never going away, so stand up and clap. Okay? Take that.
Look, I never said I wasn't going to stand up and clap.
Of course we would stand and clap, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not like
you're not
protesting it.
Right. It's not like hashtag unclap the dome. I mean,
no.
Jeez.
No, I'm just questioning. I'm questioning what it affects. And is it worth it?
We know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
You got to be a case study in this. There's got to be a student out there somewhere at Syracuse
that wants to try it for just one game.
Case study.
Just see, yeah. A hypothetical case study would mean nothing. You have to actually do it.
Yeah, I know, and it's never going to happen. I get it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it.
It was fun while it lasted. Thanks for ruining our social media following. So, anyway.
Here we go.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. No one's budged yet.
So you want me to stand up and clap? I'll stand up and clap right now.
No, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because I won't know when.
I'll stand up and clap until they make a basket on Saturday.
You're going to kill my data storage, bro. We won't be able to fit this podcast in. Well, look. So we are going to get back on track, guys. We're going to get back on track. Back to the normal grind, okay? We'll try to see you Sunday after the Georgetown game. Look, I want this one so bad. I want this one so bad going into these next 3 games. It's going to be absolutely... I don't want to say it's like huge, but it would be awesome. It would be awesome.
Oh, 100%.
We got the 3 games, but do you want to lose it? I would rather lose to Georgia Tech and then get Georgetown and then the next 3, but I don't want to lose to Georgetown, bro. I don't want to lose to Georgetown. One of my best friends here in Virginia is a Georgetown fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, kudos to him, because he's got to be a pretty good dude for you to be calling him a best friend.
I said good friend.
Oh.
Good. You're my best friend, buddy.
I thought you said best. Oh, sorry. Well, now I feel bad for ruining our social media following.
All right, look, we're done. So look, go Cuse.
Yes, sir.
I hope we can come out unscathed on this and just make it a game. I'm predicting the first cardiac Cuse game of the year. So add some excitement. It'll be fun. So real fun. Yeah, real fun. It's always fun. It's fun when you win.
Your heart beating out of your chest.
There's nothing more exciting than winning a cardiac Cuse game.
Yeah, that's right. If you beat death.
Yeah, if you beat
what's
death.
going to happen first?
Exactly.
Am I going to have a heart attack before this game is over?
Exactly. But last year's was great. Was
a good game.
Great. It was great.
Yeah, and you got to keep those games up, because now that we're not in the same conference, and now that the ACC jumped from 20 to 18,
they made a deal this year
to have some of those gimmies in there, man. So we don't have UConn for the first time in a long time, and St. John's are usually play too. So we're gonna have to.
This game almost didn't happen. Remember last year we were talking, and they were saying, well, we don't know if that's gonna happen, and then the 2 coaches came together and made it happen. So it's happening anyway.
Thank God.
Yeah. So all right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you to MyBookie. Thank you to Blue Chew. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.